Guys, we're currently in the Sheraton Hotel, which is directly opposite favela do Vidigal, okay, where we live. Found a nice cute little spot to perch for Max to practice his crawling, which he, I believe, crawled for the first time yesterday. And we were gonna go into the city, but this is local and really nice surround. So I thought that I would make a little video about what it's like raising my baby in a favela, the positives, and the negatives. I'm not going to be able to cover everything, but I thought I'd share, some of my experience. So he loves to. Max. The hardest thing about living here, just living on a mountain, okay, and we live at the very top of this mountain, inaccessibility. Yeah, we do not own a car, because owning a car, parking a car in a favela is kind of a nightmare, I suppose, unless you live at the bottom where there are some apartment complexes. The mode of transport is motorbike. So they have a motorbike taxi service that almost everyone takes. There are buses, well, let's call them vans, that take kids to school, that elderly people use. I used when I was pregnant. They're really claustrophobic. To wait takes more time. You're going up a mountain, bear in mind, so the motorbike is really quick and they know what they're doing. So although it's not ideal and it's not the safest, obviously, that is the mode of transport that we have. So if you think about it, you want to take your baby out in their buggy. It's a nightmare bringing the buggy down. That, I would say, since becoming a mum, you really want to get out of the house, and you know, you can go to the local football field. Luckily we have one, but there's only so much of that you know, you want to change your location, you want to get out into the city. We live in the most beautiful city in the world, and getting out into it it requires effort and another person. So I would say being a new mum already makes you feel very dependent on your partner, and it's horrible feeling dependent on someone. So, you know, I have to wait for my partner to be going down the mountain, or, you know, for him to help me with the buggy. He carries it and I carry Max. We go on separate motorbikes. I'll try and insert a little video now. So that is number one for me. That has been the hardest part about living here as a mother. On your bottle? Do you want your bottle? Need your bottle? Yeah? Just saw a little boy running by. Oh. Second biggest difficulty about living in a favela as a foreigner who's also a mum. I'm just going to be talking about being a mum in a favela, okay? As a foreigner, because again, the difficulties that local residents and mothers face will be different to mine, and most likely much harder. Even though these things are difficult, I'm not comparing my situation to someone who's been born, raised and lives in a favela. Language barrier. Yeah, I speak a good level of Portuguese. I've lived here for some years. I really have tried to learn the language and the local kind of dialect, let's call it. The slangs, everything. Even with that though, it's still very difficult to express yourself, for me anyway, in the same way that I would in English. An example of this, the playground. Yeah, the playground. And there's other mums there who feel like I can't communicate even with the kids and the mums in the same way that I would easily and effortlessly if I was in London. And I definitely feel like this makes me worry about the future, as I want to be able to communicate with Max's future friends and his future friends' parents. A lot of people assume that maybe I just don't speak the language well. Oh, I would say one more cultural difference. I don't think this is a class difference. This is a Brazilian thing. Women especially feel very entitled to tell you something they don't like about your appearance, about what you're doing. or about how you're parenting. I can list numerous examples. I feel like this is opposite to English culture, where we just are too polite to say anything. Max wasn't wearing a jumper. Me and my partner still argue about this, whether my baby is hot or cold. Growing up in England, it was always freezing, so for me, he's usually not wearing hoodies or scarves or hats, because we live in Rio, and if you know the climate in Rio, it's kind of warm, it's warm, hot all year round. We are in winter right now, hence why he's wearing, you know, warmer clothes. He would be fine right now in a smaller t-shirt or baby grown. And women have come up to me on the street and literally said, you need to put a jacket on him, you know, and it's like, do you not think I can feel the temperature of my baby? I'm breastfeeding. That's definitely something I've struggled with. What do you want? You smell like poo-poo. Those are a few of the difficulties I have faced thus far. Let's move on to the positive experiences I've had so far in raising my baby in a favela. Guys, is the next day. I didn't get to film the positive aspects. I've just been thinking of a few, and they all kind of counteract the negative / are kind of the same as the negative, but on a good day. Does that make sense? One is that everyone comes up to my baby and talks to him, does that, kisses his feet, you know, and he loves it. He really, really, really loves it. Don't know if that's just unique to him. I can't really compare because I've not had other kids, but he absolutely loves some attention from anyone and everyone. Everyone lives close by. It's a community of people. So all the children from the nursery there are coming out to play at the playground we've just arrived at. It can be seen as a negative, definitely, because I was not used to people just showing up at your house unannounced, and that is completely normal here because everyone lives in close proximity to each other. Let the children come in here first, then I'll continue. So I would say, growing up in the UK, or maybe it's just about how I grew up, but I'm pretty sure for everyone I know that it's not normal. Your neighbours, friends, everyone just comes around unannounced any time of the day. You kind of have to like answer. You have to get up and you know, start hosting people. All of these things took a really long time to get used to, but once I got used to them, I would say I really appreciate that aspect of living here, and I just think it's really nice for him to have so many interactions in one day. We're giving Max water now. So the fact that everyone does live close by, you're interacting with multiple people every single day. And yes, they're brief, but you know, we don't have that. We don't have that in the West. Engaging and interacting with every person you walk past, and it's not for everyone. I happen to be a very sociable person. So I enjoy these interactions. Depending on my state, my mental state, I can enjoy the random drop-bys, or I really might not enjoy them, because I could be like, I remember when I was really pregnant, or even when Max was newborn, it was just normal for people to constantly be coming in and out. And that being said, I do find Brazilians are actually very good at being upfront. I don't know if people would agree with me on that, but I find that in comparison to English people, we're always kind of being too polite to say what we really think. Like, if in England we had that culture where people came back to people's houses, I I don't know what we would do because I feel like we'd be too polite to be like, can you go? This is not a good time. Whereas because it's normal here, people have learned to be like, what is that? He's doing this. Go. It's easier for you to crawl without your shoes on, right? That every day is really a new day here. There's so much going on all the time. That like you really have a sense that everything is changing constantly. There's constant construction happening, not just in our house, like everywhere in the favela. That the weather is always amazing. Not always, but like it's the city of summer, like summer all year round, more or less, you know. So every day really does feel like a new day to feel good. I think that is really, really, really helped me survive my low points during my motherhood experience, because you will have low points, right? Like it's very isolating. It was even more isolating for me being far away from family and friends, but actually I just really, babies slow you down. Like having children, you have to slow down, and this environment is very, very, very slow paced, so it works well. There's no rush. And that's, yeah, I love that about here. That's a reason why I fell in love with living here in the first place. That's the sweat I'm in from walking up the hill back home. Nice.